couple of weeks ago I made a video all about cinema cameras, and I feel the only way to follow that up is to talk about film cameras and why cinematographers opt for certain ones over others, why some features are important, and if they're even viable today. So in today's video, I'll be covering a few of the top film cameras in use today, looking at everything from Arris to Panavisions to IMAX. To start, I'm going to take a look at Arri, more specifically their Arri Cam ST and LT, their more famous and in-demand film cameras. So the ST, which stands for Studio, is exactly that, the more studio version of this line of camera. It was developed off of a camera Arri bought out in the mid-90s under the Movie Cam company and brought the fusion of interchangeable accessories to Arri's cameras. They are now some of the most in-demand film cameras due to their incredible sync sound system and the fact that its little brother, the LT, standing for light, is pretty much the same camera in every important way, but is more optimised for handheld and Steadicam use. Now, out of all of the cameras I'm going to talk about today, these are going to be the most viable option. As for one of my favourite looking film cameras, the Arri Flex 235 is the lightweight companion to the 435 and is Arri's second newest film camera, with the only one surpassing it being the 416, released just 3 years later. Now, the 235 is the optimal camera for 35mm handheld, with its small and lightweight body, optimal placement for the magazine, and even though it can't handle 1000-foot magazines, it can comfortably accommodate 200 and 400-foot ones. Interestingly, it also has an SDI video output and several other outputs for other accessories. I'd say if you're planning on shooting a film almost completely in handheld, this is the perfect choice, with the LT being a very close second. Next on the list, we have Panavision and their Millennium XL2, probably their most famous but also most in-demand film camera. But what makes it so good? Well, the fact that it has a smaller form factor, can be rather lightweight in the Steadicam version, can do short speed ramping, which in simple terms is speeding and slowing down the rate at which the film goes through, and the fact that it can carry both 400 and 1000-foot film rolls makes it an incredibly tough camera to beat. And pair that with Panavision's incredible track record and amazing support for cinematographers to test all of their equipment out, you have the ideal competitor to Arri. However, unlike with Arri, you unfortunately can't really find one to buy. So, IMAX. Now, there are quite a few different IMAX cameras, however the most popular one today is the MSM 9802. Now, many of you know this as the camera Nolan has destroyed a couple of times, but it's also one of the most in-demand IMAX cameras out there. But why? Well, for it being an IMAX camera, it's actually rather versatile, and can be used in a multitude of settings, from the front of a Learjet to Hoyt van Hoytma's shoulder. Now, one of the reasons IMAX is able to record in such large frames is due to the fact that the film runs horizontally rather than vertically, with the only other major film camera doing so being VistaVision. And as with Panavision, you can't actually buy these. I mean, even if you wanted to, you'd be looking at roughly $500,000, and that's not accounting for maintenance fees. However, if you want to know more about IMAX, then check out this video I made a few months ago, covering everything from the history to why it's better than generic film. So overall, I think it's safe to say that the most accessible film camera today is either the Arri Cam LT or Arri Flex 235. As when you account for the price of film stock, these will be the most financially viable for your film, whilst still giving you everything that you need. Although, hopefully one day, everyone here will have the opportunity to use IMAX in some regard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Notice if you did have a recommendation for an analysis, leave it down below. Thanks so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time. Bye!